Alright, AKAPADers and my fellow Kayfabers, welcome back to the channel. Are you guys ready to hate me? So, we're not even going to get into any of the promos because I've been hyping this up on this very channel for quite some time. And people, I didn't drop any videos this past weekend because I had family time and I had a lot of food, I had a lot of alcohol, went all over the city, went all over Delaware, and all over New Jersey, another. But we're here now, I survived. We're still working out too, by the way. We got the Kayfakers and we have Witchblade, and they dropped a video where they did nothing but crap on this book, on this effort, on this movement. Witchblade changed American comics for the greater, for the best, for the moving forward. They don't see it. They want to crap on it. They want to downplay it. They want to act like that their ideas of what are good comics is better than this idea of a great comic. Here's the crazy part. The video dropped right before Michael Turner's birthday. They're dancing on that kid's grave. I can't believe it. Michael Turner, who in a few short years motivated, inspired. I mean, even Ed Piskor acknowledges that in this video response. I'll show you guys. Michael Turner changed the game for one reason. COOL. He made cool stuff. And oh my god, people enjoyed it. No. Let's get into it. Let's just start with point number one.
You know, that's written by one of the luckiest men in comics, Eric Silvestri.
And we're back. Okay. So I love this passive aggressiveness towards Eric Silvestri. People, I couldn't think a lot. I didn't have a lot of time though, but I couldn't really get too much of Eric Silvestri on the Google. But I found this. Doesn't this guy look just like Marc Silvestri? Well, this guy is extremely successful. He's in the business of business. That's right, financial, and he seems to be doing pretty well. And why is it that they crap on Lobdell, Brandon Chow from Wildstorm Wildcats, and Eric Silvestri? Ed Piskor endlessly wants to trash these individuals that already contributed more to comics than anything that these two guys are doing. Why am I the only one upset about this? This is pathetic. Guys, moving on.
This is Marc motherfucking Silvestri. That is a direct quote. He's like on the with his soul patch and his anyhow.
So Ed makes this like very passive comment about Marc Silvestri's soul patch. Like, who cares? And here's the thing we're missing here. And as I'm talking to you, I'm just gonna be showing you guys pictures of Silvestri's beyond hot wife. Like, holy crap, she's smoking hot. She is his drawings. How amazing is that? And Ed Piskor, who literally looks like an individual that you would not leave alone with your children. I mean, what is this exactly? But we got Marc Silvestri rocking and rolling with the babes, and that's what we like seeing. And that, believe it or not, back in the day when we saw those pictures, that helps selling. It helps to sell comics. Being a super geek. Say it with me, everyone. Being a super geek does not move books. Moving on. Alright, let's get this set up. AKAPADers, welcome back to the drawing table. We're going to spend some time here because I'm going to show you a clip and then do a little response. But just so you people out there know, I know you like to make comments that I can't draw and this and that, and you guys like to come at me with some pretty nice heat and act like I don't know what I'm doing or talking about. Well, I don't know. Maybe I do.
Whenever they formed Image, the Cyberforce stuff is the last crap that I got my hands on.
Alright, so you see, like, he immediately trashes Cyberforce. And we just have to say, when it comes to who really was the guy when it comes to Image Comics. I'm talking about comic book guy. It is Marc Silvestri. X Factor 8 is one of my favorite things he did pre-Image. He did the breakdowns for this. And you can easily identify what is like a Silvestri like harder drawing or softer drawing. This is a great example of transporting a storytelling style into production. I mean, look, Mystique here. That's all Silvestri. But anyway, Silvestri versus Jim Lee when it comes to X-Men. As a production guy and storyteller, Silvestri was the one. Silvestri paved the way for Jim Lee. If it wasn't for Silvestri, Jim Lee would not have had a big as a pop. And the reason for that is Silvestri's the one, through his grind on X-Men, he transformed a little bit of what people saw as style. He convinced people that we were going to go bigger, we were going to do more action, that we were going to do more line work. But Silvestri here is a master storyteller, and of all the Image guys, pre-Image Silvestri is the one to watch. If we flip through Cyberforce, this is when you know how full of crap. You're telling me of all the Image books, Cyberforce is the last one you arrive on? You are kidding me. You're lying, Ed Piskor. You're lying just so you can put your jealousy more on Michael Turner, because he comes from the house of Marc Silvestri. Look at Impact here. Like, holy crap. These guys just want you to believe anything that they say.
I was at art school. All my fellow students talking mad shit on Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld, sucking Mike Turner cock on that. Like, and I'm just like, there's no difference. Like, it's all the same. Like, right.
All right, so this one is phenomenal. This is Ed Piskor basically saying that Michael Turner is the same as Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane. Michael Turner at this level was illustrating at a higher clip than any of them, because he was regular, he was monthly, he was consistent, and he had a synergy with the colorist and inking. It doesn't matter if you think. It doesn't matter if you think this is common, or this is overdone, or this is mainstream. This is what people wanted, and this is what people still want.
Like, you know those like weird lightning comics?
Yeah.
What's the blood? I forget what the blood joint is. Bloodstorm
I
or
feel
something.
yeah, I feel like I'm letting down the audience.
All right, so here I just gotta stick up. This is where I gotta stick up, just for a random publisher that they just want to crap on. Lightning Comics was legit. Lightning Comics wasn't. It wasn't groundbreaking, but they were consistent, and they tried things, and they actually brought Trent Canigula's creed into the larger lexicon of the comic book community. They gave attention to creators, and they were in the game for a chunk, and these artists here through Lightning got exposure. People here like Matt Martin, who were even at this time light years here of where any of Kayfake is now. It's beyond me. Like, I just don't understand why you crap on titles that the industry was built on.
And you know that the writers did no research at all into like the inner workings of police work or anything.
Yeah.
So around here, they want to crap on the writing. Quick little response from that. At this point, the entire industry was coming down heavy on Image Comics for no character development, not big enough plots, not being descriptive enough in their stories. This was a part of the long response of even Alan Moore coming into Wildstorm, of Image becoming a writer-focused company or writer-focused direction. So many people ignore this because it backs an easy narrative. And I am sorry. This is a book that leads into issue 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I mean, I would say the first 24 issues of Witchblade is an arc, and we later get into David Wall, who completely changed the title, or Ron Mars. I'm sorry, Ron Mars, going all the way into Witchblade 100. It was writer focus, and I know that means a little additional definition, but to act like that the image books at this point weren't in response to criticism, you're crazy.
Fucking superficial as you can possibly be.
It's like the TNT kind of police drama.
It's not even like
That's what it becomes too.
All right, so you want to talk about things being superficial. The Red Room itself is Beavis and Butthead, superficial. I want to show you violence. I want to be shocking. LOL type bullcrap. It's again. This is okay. This is okay, but this is evil. What are they saying?
And it's not even that good. Like,
Oh no!
it's bad drawing. Like, that's not
But
sexy.
are you writing the bad?
Bad drawing. What you going to do? What you going to do when they come for you? I mean, okay, we can make arguments against this bad drawing. I mean, we have faces here that are not 3/4. I can go through this and just pick up endless errors, but I never would do that because that's not the intent. You understand that? Ed Piskor has a different intent with Red Room, with a different intent how he's using his style. And guess what, folks? From the intent, so does Top Cow.
No, not at all. But that's kind of part of that trend too. I feel like that is the image style, right?
And over here, Jim Rugg, the other guy, seems to have an issue with turning a comic book sideways. I remember Scott Snyder, changed people's minds with a certain Batman page turn for him. Or do we forget about Stranko's page turning? People, this is fun. This is cool. This is imaginative when it's used in multiple different ways. At the time, this is what you would expect, and I will beg to differ that comic books today need to be more illustrative, and if they had a little bit more of this heat, it will get people back in shops.
Comic is no different than that. Like, the only difference is the coloring department had a couple of years to play and figure out how to like use radial blurs a little better.
You know the difference too?
All right, this is like a clear evidence of really not gathering the process. Radio blurs. I'm using Inferno Hellbound here because this is a series that I absolutely love that is underrated. Okay, just to downgrade Top Cow's department as radio blurs. Most of the time, it's we would call it lassoing. Radio blurs is it's a filter. It's not a technique. So that's confusing. Top Cow, and the way that they were able to consistently hold a style through multiple titles, multiple years, paid off so much in the long run that when we look at these books now, we get angry that more books today don't look like what Top Cow could put out. Now, side note, I do view this as Marc Silvestri as selling out.
It's so frustrating to
Look
me.
at that thing.
This is incredible. Like the
It's a horse
90s,
hoof.
the 90s coloring. I mean, man, anybody that wasn't there the first time through.
All right, so this is really the one I was waiting to get at. They, for some reason, just can't understand a cool image, and they want to nitpick in so many different ways of why this, again, is evil, why this is bad. Need we remind ourselves what we're commenting against? All right, and you have to keep in mind, a lot of these stories for Red Room are human interest stories, meaning they involve characters and backgrounds and things like revenge or like gotchas, or like they kind of have like character arcs. And a lot of these stories relies solely on how well that character art is thought out, and through Red Room's history, it's not many of them are. I mean, like, okay, wow, look what Ed drew. Wow,
Seeing this was like it's a different thing. It's not even comics.
No.
I was so angry at this era of comics at the time.
all right. Hey, you want to talk about infuriating, offensive? This is one of your boys, Kayfake. Are we just not addressing some of the absolute degradation of what we view as a comic book style, what we view as the art form, the lack of work that seems to be going into, the lack of work that's going into a lot of these books?
And she's shooting back behind her. You could have had this thing shooting basically right into the knee instead of off the page, without really distorting anything.
All right, and to comment on what Jim Rugg is saying, just to show you guys, like, I did something very similar here. So we have Cosmo Cat, and what I like to do is, like, I blend the panel borders, meaning I'm working within the grids of the page, but I like to link the borders and blend them. And here we have Cosmo Cat's cape, and the cape's going this way. In this panel, he's grabbing the cape, and it kind of like melds together. And for this, I'm envisioning the colorist kind of being able to play with that. This is more of a colorist play. What Jim Rugg is saying isn't exactly crazy, but it in no way affects the impact of this page, nor should it, nor should editorial come down and force corrections and want to redo certain things. This book represents a kinetic style, period, and there's an attitude and a feeling of knowing what you're buying when you see a cover like this, or even just the logo.
Theater, so we get history of this theater.
It's awful.
Is anybody buying Witchblade to hear about some old theater that hasn't been open in 50 years? That
they seem not to like the history of the theater. I don't know why they're harping on that, but again, this was a response to criticism of the time for the lack of writing within Image Comics. Not a big deal.
Got off cam, Jimmy. You got 3 captions here, right? Caption 1, the guy with the cigarette rolled up his sleeve, blah, blah, blah.
Alright, so like Ed really nitpicks like this sequence. He reads some of the captions. I'm just going to remind you people that the captions here and the flow of Witchblade is really no different than a lot of what we get in Red Room. You know, like we get a lot of circumstantial things, things that have to be available to happen to forward the plot. You know, meaning like, you know, the individual here is able to stab individual B through a faux painting, and you know it sets up more blood. So again, it's intent, and I just don't understand how that escapes them, knowing that Top Cow was trying to address criticism.
I don't know, even go down the street to the cop shop and like just ask that question. Can it?
All right, this is where Ed Piskor is completely delusional. He wants Top Cow to go down to the local cop shop and talk to them about police rankings.
And they were inking because there wasn't a big line for them, and they're inking with nibs. And dude, it was about the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
All right, this is where I do give Rugg some credit, because he is addressing the amazing skill set of even at one time, Top Cow had 2 things: the best inking core in comics and the best coloring core in comics. These are the nibs. This is what he was talking about. This is predominantly, even for the curves, even for the long lines. These are nibs, people.
Here we go. Let's criticize color theory.
Let's do it.
Let's put some red and orange fire effect on top of a red background.
All right, and here the other guy, Mr. Rugg, he just sounds so freaking annoying and pathetic at this point. And I love it. People are like, why do you guys watch it? Why do you like watching it, AKAPAD, if you're going to come after it? I can't help myself. I really can't. But no, he's knocking this color theory And this is the way I've always read this. Okay? We have a purple background. We have yellow. We're complementing one another here. And through a yellow fiery glow, what transitions to red, it fades into the purple background. Am I seeing this wrong? AKAPADers, we're back. There was a lot more there that I wanted to address. And it's like your brain cannot take all of it. And if you're still here with me, thank you so much. Just if you are a Kayfaber and you're here, I do thank you, because I know these are different opinions, these are different thoughts. A lot of my thought process and methodology, I feel like it's a separate world compared to those guys. But I do feel like so much of it is disingenuous and so much of it is fake, because they really want to prop up a lot of these books, a lot of these titles. Mostly by that I mean like their own work. That the level of expertise that goes into their own work, it's nothing close to what they're actually criticizing. And that's the bigger point, because I think anyone out there that's like up and coming, that wants to like have the knowledge or gain an edge, I think going through Kayfake, you get a good enough mentality, and you get this mentality that you can go in a particular direction. That doesn't mean that direction should be better work. It's like almost like a good enough attitude, and that's just not the way we do things here. That's not the way we do things on this channel or my streams. We go as hard as possible, and we try and perfect every little thing that we do all the time. And if it's not there, then like you make it there, like you get there. And I get it, this opens me up for criticism, this opens me up for debate, but at the same time, I would never shun away from any of that. I don't shy away from the comments, but please be thoughtful when people are giving you like these absolutes. And look, a lot of this is Kayfake, a lot of this is Kayfabe. They have a wrestling promo style, and in a big way, that's what these videos are also. It's a promo back. And that doesn't mean there's not love and appreciation towards Ed and towards Jim. Like everyone's playing a different character here, but I really would like so many of you to take away an idea that you're just receiving thoughts, you're receiving a position. Nothing is the absolute. You decide. And I think a lot of you have found this channel because you do want another opinion, you want another version of their content, because their content does get like a tidal wave of views and interactions and all these things that smaller channels like me hope and dream for. With all that said, I love you guys so much. Thank you for just hanging out. Thank you for participating. We got so much more coming, and just do me a favor, go check out Fast and Furious X. It is an absolute masterpiece. I was blown away by this movie. Love you guys.